Control. This game has been on my radar for a very, very long time. Many sales I have seen it, and many other deals I had seen of it on other websites like Instant Gaming or Kinguin. But that's not important. Finally managed to get my hands on it, and here, also in the background, you see some background footage of it. So, what do I think of the game? Honestly, it's flawless. I have not seen a single bug. I have not seen a single glitch. And I just overall love this game. If I wouldn't have to go to work during these work days, I'd probably binge till I complete it, same as I did with Wolfenstein 2. Because that's how good the game is. The physics, as you'll also see on the footage, are nice, especially once you get telekinesis about early on into the game. You can start tossing shit around, breaking stuff in offices, break certain barriers and walls apart, toss things at enemies and instant kill them. With bosses it's a bit different, but that's a boss. Also, the main weapon you have, which is the pistol, the director's pistol, which has unlimited ammo and everything, fully recharges, is also a nice addition. You'd never really see such things in video games, except like, oh, you have this basic pistol which has infinite ammo, but it's completely ass, and you have to find other weapons. And in this game it's also nice that you have to look for items of power. You can choose to ignore them, but if you do collect them, you gain more abilities, you become stronger, and everything else. The story of the game is nicely incorporated. The cutscenes are not too long, but also not too short. Everything you need to know is being just put out there, and you can simply understand everything. Sometimes it seems to be a bit tricky, but that's about it. And why do I like this game so damn much is also the fact that the graphics are just on point. Reflections, broken apart debris, reflections on the ground, especially if there's been a rough impact, like the marble tops and all the glossy materials. If they break apart, you see all the nice debris, cracks, and all that. It just allows you to see all the effort that has been put in to make this game. And if I'd have to recommend this game to someone, or make a decision for them, especially as a single player game, and being a fan of single player games myself, I'd say go for it. It's worth the buy. Maybe some people like to buy games on sales or discounts. Sure, go ahead. Try to go for a sale, but the game definitely is worth the buy, worth the effort put in it. Especially if you try to go for those full 100% completions of collecting all the items and hidden intel, so-called, and documents and everything like that. They're nicely also implemented in the world. You can only see them because there's the button to collect them, the interaction key glowing once you get close enough. And they fit into the background very nicely, like paper folders placed on desks, some papers that have fallen onto the ground with the rest of the papers or folders, and destroyed offices, but you still find tossed around papers, maybe a computer, and they're just nicely placed in the world, so everything fits in, nothing stands out too much. There's also these boxes which provide you with certain upgrades and power-ups for the player, which are also very, very nice. The next thing which tends to be a deal breaker for many players, especially casual players. Me, myself, I like a good challenge in games. That's why I also play more aggressive and faster paced games. Yes, I do tend to get pissed off myself, and well, that's why I haven't touched Dark Souls 3 in a while. But if a 0 would be a complete shit show of a rage, and 10 would be very nice, calm, then this would rate closer to 7. It has a nice, slow-paced gameplay, especially if you go behind cover and all that. You have enough time to think out your next move and plan out how you take out enemies. But at the same time, it has the nice tempo of a good going battle. And the exploration is also quite simple. The map is understandable. You see all the locations where the stairs are. Certain rooms are of course marked with question marks until you explore them. And you unlock more and more as the story progresses as the game goes on. And the trick of, I can't even really say, but how I wanted to say it, I just lost my train of thought. But how they mess around with certain things, like switch the lights on and off 3 times, the rule of 3, you all of a sudden are in a different location, but they put the transition so neatly that you can't even understand that you have traveled to a different dimension, you could say, and then to travel back and everything else, as you'll see also in the footage as well. And yeah, me personally, I'm probably gonna finish this game within the next few days, and I recommend you to also grab it. It's still on Epic Games for free, so if this review seems tempting, log on to your Epic Games launcher, go to the store, and get it for free. I think it still is. Never mind. Ignore me about that. But you can definitely still grab it on sale. It's worth the buy. And as always, digital out.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
How is it out there? The comms? The hiss? Sorry.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown.
Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself.
Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.